Hey guys, welcome back to a video today. Today we have Secretary Hillary Clinton versus Jeb Bush with Trump running as an independent. Now, this one was very much, it was kind of expected if Bush became the nominee. I mean, Donald Trump was the only GOP candidate who said he would not endorse the eventual candidate. And this is pretty much saying that he most likely would have ran an independent campaign. So let's say that Jeb Bush, as many people predicted, would win the Republican nomination. Trump ran as an independent. This is still the 2016 general election scenario. Let's see how this takes an effect on the map. So first things first, this is a Democratic year. Democrats would easily win, not only in the Senate because of the vote splitting, because Trump-like candidates would try to contest Republicans on a statewide level, and but we're just talking about the presidential level. This will be a Hillary Clinton essential. It will be a victory nonetheless, but we're going to talk about margins here. Going over to a number of states, we're going to see a number of states that previously weren't toss-ups become toss-ups. Now, I'm going to fill in Trump states as states with the battleground essential gray right there, so Trump will be there. The swing states are the states that I'm just not going to fill in. So first of all, we're going to start by filling in the safe Democratic states. So pretty much the entire Rust Belt was safe Democratic at the time. With Trump in the scenario as an independent candidate, not only would he peel away from the GOP, Hillary Clinton would likely gain in voters. So she would easily win across the Rust Belt. And now she ultimately already has the presidency. And going up to Maine, that one electoral vote, I would consider a toss-up, but New Hampshire, that one would not be a toss-up. Why is it not? That's weird. But oh well. I was just gonna say that I would eventually given it to Hillary Clinton. I'll just expedite the process. Now, as for the safe Trump states, a number of these states wouldn't necessarily be safe, but I'm gonna fill them in for Bush. Sorry, not Bush. Trump. Actually, a number of these states like Wyoming and Idaho we'll talk about. Nebraska, one electoral vote we'll talk about. South Dakota as well. I actually want to talk about that. Alaska. Yeah, they would probably go to Bush. West Virginia, we're going to come back to. A number of these states, very, very different. But so pretty much the safe GOP states are the state of Nebraska, Oklahoma, Alaska, Mississippi, and Alabama, probably Tennessee. But right now, those are pretty much the only safe states. And we're going to talk about Wyoming and Idaho as to why I made them toss-ups. Idaho and Wyoming, now we're going to come back to them. I don't know why I did that, but I'm giving them to Bush narrowly over Trump, but I think Hillary Clinton would have no chance of winning these states. I think that the Republican vote would be ultimately split between the two. I think Trump's ideals and conservative values will not be as much as will not show as prevalent amongst Republican voters as Bush's, but Trump's outspoken effect against a pretty much quiet Republican nominee would gain him a number of voters in states like that. Ultimately, just that R by his name, I think, would land him. R by Bush's name would land him a victory. As for West Virginia, I think that state would go to Donald Trump. They really loved his rhetoric there. I definitely think he could rile up the crowd and actually win in that state. Going over to Utah, the Mormon population hated Donald Trump. I don't see a pathway for Clinton to win there, but I do think that Bush would hold on to the state. Going over to Kansas, another state, I think they're more moderate Republicans here. I think Bush would narrowly take a victory there. But yeah, so going over to some southern states, South Carolina, this was Bush territory until Trump came in and pronounced the GOP nominee here, GOP frontrunner before Trump announced Bush was the frontrunner. I'm going to give this one to Bush because I do think that the Republican vote will mainly go to him, but I do think Trump would do better than Hillary Clinton. As for states like Florida, pretty much every swing state in 2016 would go to Hillary Clinton. And now my reasoning behind this is if you have this amount of vote splitting between two top candidates, Trump would ultimately, if not win more votes than Bush, just spoil the election for Bush. It would be essentially, I'm screwing you over because I'm not the nominee. That would essentially be the scenario. Going over to Texas, this is a drastic call, but Trump only won it by 8%. Bush may have a lot of ties in Texas, but it won't be enough to overcome the Trump effect, the Trump voters that will vote for him no matter what. Going over to Indiana and Missouri, even with Mike Pence factored in Indiana, I don't see it going to a candidate like Trump, even with, especially since Bush is in the race. Be going down to states like Arkansas, I'm not really seeing a Bush victory here. I do think that Donald Trump would narrowly carry Arkansas and Louisiana. I think, although they are very Republican states, I think they would go to Donald Trump. I mean, he effectively sweep the South, and the reasons why I didn't give him Mississippi and Alabama is just think that they vote extremely partisan. Louisiana has a Democratic governor, which shows that they don't always vote partisan, but Mississippi and Alabama, very much consecutive Republican states. That's why it was such an upset that a Democrat won in Alabama. When a Democrat won in 2015 on an anti-Obama year in Louisiana, it wasn't that much of news. Going over to Arkansas, again, they previously had a Democratic senator. I mean, they have a Democratic president come from Arkansas, but I do think that it would eventually go to Trump. Going over to Kentucky, I think Bush would carry on to Kentucky's electoral votes. Same thing with Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Montana previously was a toss-up in 2008. Not seeing it now. But going over to Nebraska, I think that one electoral vote would go to Hillary Clinton decisively. So final electoral map, 434 electoral votes for Hillary Clinton, 85 for Jeb Bush, and I believe, let's see, that's 19 electoral votes for Donald Trump. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.